Hi, selamat siang. Hi, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to Europe On Screen Film Talk with me, Noval Yazid. I'm the festival co-director of Europe On Screen 2023. Selamat siang, kali ini sesi Instagram Live Film Talk hadir sedikit lebih awal karena kita akan ngobrol dengan salah satu sutradara dari Jerman, Lea Najjar, untuk filmnya yang berjudul Kash Kash. So we will be very soon having a chat with Lea Najjar. She's the director of Kash Kash, a documentary from Germany. Tapi sebelumnya saya akan memberikan sedikit update tentang Europe On Screen 2023. So as you know, today is Friday 23rd of June. Hari ini hari Jumat tanggal 23 Juni 2023. Berarti tinggal 2 hari lagi festivalnya, karena festival Europe On Screen akan berakhir hari Minggu tanggal 25 Juni. But don't worry, we will still have some exciting events in the next 2 days. So just I will give you some quick updates what's going to happen today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. So today we will have surprise screening. Hari ini hari Jumat tanggal 23 Juni jam 7 malam akan ada surprise screening. So everybody know that you have been waiting for this event every year in the festival. Surprise screening is tonight at 7 p.m. in Ivi Tamrin. If you want to get the ticket, please be at the venue 1 hour before the event. We will have some quizzes, giveaways during the surprise screening. So please be sure not to miss that event. Kemudian besok, tomorrow, we will have a special film talk about our pets, our mental health. Ini salah satu event yang juga banyak ditunggu-tunggu. Kita banyak mendapatkan request atau pertanyaan soal ini. Just come to Erasmus Hayes either at 2:30, jam 14.30, jam 2.30 siang untuk mengikuti film talk Our Pets, Our Mental Health. Atau you can also watch the film My Pet and Me before the event. Jadi ada pemutaran film My Pet and Me sebelum sesi film talk dimulai. So yes, and of course on Sunday we will have closing ceremony at our closing venue in Erasmus Swiss. But the closing film can be screened for public. So we will have a ceremony first at 4 p.m. and then 7 p.m. we will have a public screening of the closing film. Jadi untuk hari terakhir atau closing day, kita akan mulai dengan closing ceremony jam 4 sore di Erasmus Swiss. Itu hanya untuk undangan. Tapi film closing juga bisa ditonton untuk umum mulai jam 7 malam. So yes, I will see you all in this coming 3 days, today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. In the meantime, I have Lea Najjar, who is about to join. I think.
Hello.
Hello,
can
hi,
you hear
good
me?
morning, Lea. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear and see me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making the time to have a chat with us. And of course, thank you for making Kash Kash. It's such an interesting film. I mean, me and our programming team, we were impressed by the film and the way you shot it. And I understand this is your debut film, your feature-length debut film. So what made you decide to make Kash Kash as your first feature-length film?
So it was also my graduation project from university, and I studied in Germany, and I always wanted to make a film in back home in Lebanon. And when I found out about the birds, like I realized that this is really a great opportunity for me to make a more of a holistic portrait of the country from the perspective of the birds.
But prior to coming across to that pigeon game, are you already familiar with that game?
I wasn't really familiar. I mean, I was really sitting with a friend on some Sunday afternoon on the balcony, and we saw someone, with a sling on
Yeah,
the roof, playing,
yeah.
and we were really wondering what the hell is happening. So we went to the house like across the street, and we were ringing to go up just to ask, because we were like, this is so strange, and they're landing, they're going,
Yeah.
like there was something happening, and we got curious, and as we met the first person, he told us, okay, and I'm playing with that person and that person and that person. It turned out that it's a whole network that is spreading over the whole city and the whole country. So like this, the research started actually just by being curious about one person and him introducing us to the next and the next and the next.
So it's like a it's like a word of mouth recommendation that you get when you did the
Yes,
research.
yes, but also they meet at night in the coffee shops where they
Ah,
discuss the
okay.
game. So once we found out where they meet, they have like some meeting points where they meet to say like, you stole my bird, no, I took yours. It's like in the evening after they finish the games, they go there to discuss.
All right. But you are originally from Beirut. I understand you're from Lebanon, but
Mom's German, my dad's Lebanese.
I
So I grew up
see.
between both
I
countries.
see. And of course, when looking at, I mean, when watching your film, what strikes me as well is in any good documentary is the closeness between the filmmakers and the subjects. So um, you seem to know these guys very well. How long did it take for you to approach them, and how long did they eventually, be comfortable to open up to you?
So when I did the research on all of this, I wasn't alone. I was working with my co-author and very good friend Alia Haju, and together we started hanging out with them. And first we came, of course, without cameras, and we had
Yeah,
many coffees
of
at the
course.
family, and it was really like a process. But then also, I think what made us get closer to the characters was that we were shooting for such a long time. Because when we started, then the revolution happened, so we had to stop,
Hmm.
and then we had to after like 3 months, because we didn't know what was happening, and we
Right.
wanted to start again.
Right.
Then half a year later, and then Corona happened, and we had to
Yeah.
stop. And we wanted to continue, but we couldn't. And then we wanted to start again, and then the explosion happened, and we had to stop again. So the process of shooting was so many times interrupted, and we kept coming back to them after different tragedies that the country was going through. So I think at some point we became kind of friends, because they were like, okay, you guys are very stubborn, and you keep coming back. And I mean, we're always, it was always like a respectful relationship. So yeah,
So
I think that's how we got.
how did you sustain your interest? How did you sustain not just interest, but your spirit as well, considering that you had to go through at least three major obstacles, the revolution, the COVID, and the explosion?
Um, I I think it was different. I mean, after the explosion, we really wanted to stop filming. I
I
felt like it
see.
was already kind of not the right thing to make a movie about pigeons when the half the city was really shattered. So I felt it was almost rude to make such a subject. But actually, what kept us going was that we saw that they were still playing.
Yeah,
Whatever tragedy happened,
yeah,
they kept playing. And I think that was motivating us. If they keep playing, whatever happens, and they even are living in much worse circumstances, then we should keep
right.
filming.
Right. And also, I mean, eventually we see in the film that they're not just playing the game, but doing the game. They can like release themselves from the burden of daily life surrounding them, and getting in touch with other people as well. So that is, I would say, like a very eye-opening for us. We have similar traditions, not with pigeon, but with bird, like some guys
Really?
throwing birds. Yes, throwing birds in the air, not from rough, not from the rooftop, but they usually just from the streets. But we didn't bother asking them why they did that until I saw the film. Like, okay, so yeah, they might be doing that for many other reasons. So
Yeah, and also I want to know because your film also features some shots during the protests and political unrest. How difficult and dangerous was it to film during such circumstances?
I mean, during the protest, we had to stop not only because it was hard to go from A to B because there was a lot of road blocks.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we had to stop because most of our team was really wanting to protest, right? Because this was like a
Oh, I
time where
see. Okay.
in the country and a lot of people were like really wanting to not shoot a movie but like spend like this was like a really historic time for the Lebanese people, so people were not focused to shoot a documentary, they wanted to go to the street and want to be part of the movement.
Mm-hmm.
So this was one of the reasons why we stopped, and that's also why we were on the street ourselves, and many of the
I see.
shots, I mean, we did with a less professional camera, more like a smaller camera while we were on the streets, or some friends of us. So it's our footage together with our group of friends and acquaintances that were on the street actually protesting, not for the like shooting for the movie, but actually protesting and for the for the revolution that was happening in Lebanon, or was trying to happen in Lebanon at the time. Yeah,
Right.
still happening.
Still happening. So you actually engage with a lot of local crew for your film here.
Yes, I mean, so in the beginning we also had a Lebanese DOP, but
Mm-hmm.
actually the crisis he also was having to move to Paris with his
Right.
family. So in the end it was me and a German DOP from a university, and together with a local producer, Lea Najjar, who was making everything happen, you know, from the back, saving our saving us from having problems on the street, shooting everywhere, and Alia Haju, who was the co-author and was helping me also some with the interviews and things, and sound, Rayan Obeid. So they were all local, but we were a very, very small crew. We were like 5 people.
Okay. And so in total, considering pre-COVID and the revolution as well, is it correct that you eventually spent 5 years making the film, or actually more?
Maybe 4. I mean, we started actually researching in 2018,
Okay.
and we started wanting to shoot in 2019, but we couldn't because of the revolution and COVID.
Yeah.
So there was just always like a few weeks of doing something and then stopping. And then we finally shot most of the footage in the fall of 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and editing 2020, 2021.
Mm.
Since 2022, the film is done, but it was a longer than expected. But I guess when you do your first documentary, you realize that it's not the fastest medium.
No, it's not. And also, well, we've been having several discussions with first-time filmmakers during the festival as well. And one question that keeps popping up during these conversations, especially for first-time filmmakers, is about the financing. So, can you talk a little bit about how you get the fund or the finance for Kash Kash?
So luckily, because I was studying in Germany, in the south of Germany, and it's a school which is very supportive of the students, and they have different programs when you're doing your master's thesis. So through their program, we were able to do a pitch to a TV station in the south of Germany and Southern German TV
I
funding,
see.
which is kind of a pitching round where there's a selection of students who are graduating to be able to pitch
Mm.
to those funders, and we were lucky to to be one of the winners for that fund. It's called a Junger Dokumentarfilm from the SW. And then but then also, I mean, no one was was properly paid to make this film, and it was still, I mean, still a student film, so many people, including me, worked for free for this film. So it was, I mean, a fun to make it happen, to be able to shoot, but not to cover like the normal expenses that it would usually take to make a documentary. And then we also applied to we applied to many things as well, like you try, you know.
Yeah.
But other thing that worked was Doha Film Fund,
All right.
so they were also partners.
I see.
Yeah.
So how can you, I mean, can you also share like the journey from being a graduation film, and then being picked up by sales agent and eventually, being screened in festivals worldwide, and eventually winning some awards as well, like in CPH Docs. So how did it start after you complete your film?
I mean, I feel very humbled and lucky. We just started submitting, online to all of these different registration forms and eventually looking for a good premiere festival.
Right.
I feel like that's always a good wish to have like a nice premiere in a festival that you like. And
Yeah.
as we got we also, of course, in the beginning got a lot of no's, but when we got the first yes from CPH Doc, and we're so lucky to win the Next Wave
Yeah.
Award, I think then it became it got its own wheels.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting, I'm like, whoa, what's happening? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
we
opened it opened doors. I mean, once you get the first yes.
Sorry?
I mean, it opened doors when you get once you get the first yes from a huge film festival like CPH Docs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I also want to know because while the film has universal appeal, but it's actually rooted in a very tradition in a tradition that belongs to a certain country or certain society. So I wonder, since the festival has been screened in numerous film festivals and screenings worldwide, did you encounter some notable or memorable reactions? How did you find audience reactions from different festivals?
I mean, I'm happy because as you say, like it's being watched by people from very different backgrounds and also that don't have such insight in the society. So what I think what is the nicest thing is that you realize that even though I'm portraying also some very typical Lebanese macho boys, like they are able to have empathy with them,
Right.
like of the people after the movie, even if you like them or like them but hate them a little bit, still like you manage to have empathy for someone like Hassan, and I think that for me was a nice thing that this came across without like the language and cultural barrier that like there's different layers to these people, and maybe the first one is a bit more macho, but then you dig deeper and they're very sweet people, and it's kind
They
of with which they try to protect themselves.
have they
Yeah.
watched the film?
They did, yes, they did.
And how's
Yeah.
their reaction?
They were I mean, I was scared in the beginning because I was thinking maybe Hassan would be angry with me because he's never winning, because he really wants to win and he's always losing. But he took it like with a smile. He was like, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And the fisherman came to the screening with like 20 people from his family, so it was a nice moment.
Okay, great. And I also wonder, during the first few times you went to to Lebanon to shoot the film, did you grow attached to the pigeons?
More to the being on the roof. I mean, it's nice if
Okay.
you fly away together and land together, but the smell is really bad in the film because like the pigeon houses, I think that's also one of the reasons why some people don't like to hang out there.
Yeah.
But the place to be on the roof, I think in Beirut, which is also a very crowded city, just to sit on the roof is a very calming and very nice experience. And I think, shooting the film, it just made me realize we should spend more times on the roof. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's such a lovely, activity to spend in, especially in the afternoon as the sun sets, with the roof. But yeah, I can imagine the smell because all the the poops from the birds. Yes. So yes, I would like to know. So, what's your next project after Kash Kash, or are you already working on something new?
I've been helping a friend to make a movie in the last year, and I've been working as a producer, not as a director.
Okay.
But I'm keeping my eyes open for the next subject, but I haven't made a final decision yet.
Will you
Yeah.
stay in the documentary genre, or will you also be branching out to non-documentary?
Who knows? I'm interested in both, honestly. So I'm playing with both and like both ideas. Yeah, from both genres. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Thank you so much for this brief, yet lovely interview with you, Lea. We really enjoyed the film, and yes, looking forward to what you will be making next. So,
Thank you so much for choosing the movie for your festival.
of course, no worries. It's our pleasure. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Ciao.
Ciao. Yes, so that was Lea Najjar. She is the director of Kash Kash, a very, very interesting documentary about pigeon game in Beirut, in Lebanon. So I'm not sure if the film is. I don't remember the schedule, but if the film is still available in either Jakarta or in one of the cities that we host the Europe on screen, I hope you get to watch it. So in the meantime, uh, we will be having another film talk. We actually have three film talk sessions today. The second one will be with Claire Dix, with director of Sunlight from Ireland, and then followed by Ina Sakayan from Armenia, who will be talking with my colleague Menina Putri, the director of Aurora Sunrise. So yes, I'll be seeing you in one of the venues today during the Europe on Screen screenings in the last 3 days. I'm Noval Yazid, Festival Co-Director of Europe on Screen. Thank you so much. Bye.